Put yourself together, Peppino. Slap, slap. Mon Dieu, you can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, non? I wanted my mommy, eh? Well, now I wish I had a return to Italia. I miss the spaghetti and the pasta. Wah! Stop crying, Peppino, please. You're gonna make me cry. Otherwise, What a bunch of weenies. Ooh, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the story-driven gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are hopping back into the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. In the last episode, we started the trial, and it's been pretty good so far. We have Kazuma as our prosecutor. I really like him. If I have to describe him, I would say he's firm, but fair. Nah, he's cool. Like he's pushing back, like you'd expect a prosecutor could. He's calling us out when he thinks we're lying or we're wrong about something, but he's not being antagonizing. In fact, at the very end, we kind of the section, we kind of threw out a wild theory or a handful of wild theories, and it looked like Kazuma wasn't fully on board, but he's like, you know what? It's worth pursuing. He's like, good job, Ryunosuke. Like, I think we're kind of pushing each other and working with each other to find the truth, so, which is good. Good, prosecutor-defense relationship, at least in these games. But yeah, apart from that, we started by, bringing Van Zykes to the stand, and we just kind of questioned him to get more information about what was happening, from his perspective. And then we called in the witnesses, Mr. Fat Lip, Little Red Riding Hood, and Homeless Guy. What were their names? Gossip, because the guy with the fat lip, he was like, he sold us gossip tips or whatever, or pieces of gossip for like a 6p. I forget what the girl's name was, but she sold fireworks. And then Sandwich was the old man, who was also the omnibus driver. And yeah, we got, we learned more about the incident, that there was some contradictory testimonies, but we kind of uncovered that. So now we are hopping into the next part of the trial. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm having a brain fart though. We're calling somebody, because I haven't actually even gone back and finished editing the last part yet. I'm trying to remember at the very end we're calling somebody new to the stand, right? Oh, that's right. We're calling, I guess, the two criminals or whatever that were part of the Red-Headed League. We're bringing them to the stand because we concluded that Gregson was going undercover and investigating the Red-Headed League. That's right. So we're hopping into that now. I say we get started. Let's hop in. 22nd of November, 12:33 p.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Oh, there you are, Odo. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Gina. How do you do? You sure about what you said in there? That the boss, actually died the day before? It's pretty hard to swallow. Oh, that's right, we concluded that he was dead like a whole day before we found his body, and that there was some timing mechanism that revealed the body to us. Because we found him with the red wig on, but we think he was already in the room dead. And the witnesses who saw a red-headed figure walk into the building, I think it was like 15 minutes before Van Zykes did, that the guy wearing the wig was the real killer, and he was just making us think that Gregson had just walked into the building, but he had died like the day before or whatever. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I, possibly more shocked than both of you. Haha. It's not a competition, Sholmes. Yeah, exactly. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. Take that! I'm not going to say it out loud, but I know it's true. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes. It's strange that there's no time of death noted. It's like, it says time of death, and it's just blank. I suppose there's a simple explanation. Or perhaps it was a deliberate omission? I know this is nothing like that, but in Danganronpa, that's whenever there's an omission from like the Monokuma file, which is kind of like the autopsy report in those games. An omission means that it's important to the mystery, but obviously that has no bearing on something like this, which is more of like an official autopsy report. Oh dear, if it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on. And Dr. Scythe, yeah, the coroner once again was named, so I don't know if this coroner, I think it was a woman again. Let me see, it was, let me find it. Maria, yeah, gory. It is a very gory job. So I don't know if she'll actually be important. Or not. I know. Anyway, it seems that on the day before Lord Van Zyke discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, so perhaps something happened with them. Come to think of it, you had trouble with those League men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. No. Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth-hound interest was merely piqued slightly. The rare scent of a weekly £4 income. A whole £4. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? And Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean. I knew they'd come back. That's right, Suze. And it was me what took 'em in. I'm so good at my job. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen. Indeed, yours truly. Aha! I'm so awesome. So it's gonna be the pair in the witness stand next, is it? Lots of people involved in this one. Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? Yeah, I remember that tripped me up last time, just because I wasn't thinking of the case surrounding that. I was like, I forgot that there was like an investigation into them, and that they were after some shady business myself. So I guess like Sholmes, I bought into it. I forgot that it was like a shady thing. I was just like, oh, I thought it was just this group of redheads and, I don't know, a way to make money. Like Gregson's own sleuth hound interest was piqued by the rare sense of a weekly £4 income. Just like you. Don't tar him with the same brush as you, Sholmes. Yes, well, anyway. Then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zyke for some reason. Yeah, and he wouldn't tell us. The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zyke's. My head's about to explode with all this information. There's a lot. And Kazuma. I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Gee golly gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? Think he's got his own objective? All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Okay, it's almost time. Yes, you're right. Cosmo was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. That's right, he did mention that. And he also, yep, I was just about to say that he specifically wanted us to take it on. And he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Are you ready then, Miss Susato? Yes! Yes, sir, let's go. Cool. Back into the courtroom we go. 2nd of November, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. And no jury still. I mean, not that I expected there would be one, that all of a sudden. But... In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed court hearing of Barak von Zykes, here present, who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Asagi. My lord, have you summoned the witnesses as requested? Yes, the two members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage. Very good. Have a cookie. Bailiff, usher the two men into the courtroom. That's right, these weirdos. I don't know if that little one there is a girl or a boy. These two men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. I am Fabien de Rousseau, a descendant of the great de Rousseau family from Nice in France, Nietzsche. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. I am eating the spaghetti. I am the third son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli, eh? These guys sound exactly like those other two foreign people I voiced. The two men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. Those who graduate from Temsic are the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Alors, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. That is all I am trying to do, huh? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? There's gotta be more to it than that. Oui! You could say that! Aha! Not bad, eh? Hey, buddy? He has the grand ideals, but the petty plans. This strange combination is the charm of the Hilarious brothers. Oh, I get it, like hilarious, but hair. See, Capo? I don't know what you just said. Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you. Che? Or no, this is Italian. Che? You say that you pronounce the CH, right? Are you about to tell me one of your... Sorry, I'm getting my voices mixed up. Holy cow. Are you about to tell me one of your grandi anecdotes? Evviva! Evviva! Oh my god, these accents are gonna be the death of me. Firstly, I want you to stop calling me the Scapo. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is serious business. Che bello, there it is. The Capo's trump card. The furrowed brow. It is deep, Capo? The furrow and the meaning of your words. Your words. The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? It is not. Okay, he's like, I'm not even gonna try and hide it. Oui, c'est ça. I beg your pardon, and what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud? Alors, I will explain it. No, Capo. Leave it to a me. It's a me, Da Rossi. As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we are teased for this without pity. The Capo here. He was many times behind the schoolhouse crying like the Trevi fountain, eh? Where's those dogs? One day the world will respect us redheads. I was about to say something and then you auto-scrolled. Every night he would bury his head in his pillow and weep for the injustice. C'est bien, Peppino, enough! I will explain the rest. You can shut up now. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw that notice. It was this one, I believe, entitled To the Red-Headed League. Oui, c'est ça. I am honored that you have seen it. State that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. Check and check for both of you. Good job. And that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. Now, it says could. On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in the droves at a park specified in the advertisement. And for me present, the pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. 5 shillings for the possessed toy. I'm pretty sure I made that joke in some other episode. And with the money to France. It was the plan most elegant, non? No, it was most dishonorable. You get him, Kazuma. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody who's foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. Everybody just turns and looks at Sholmes in the gallery. The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a coster's orange barrow. That's exactly how I would describe it. And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day, including Gregson, most likely. I have seen more red-headed people in 1 day than I will see in the rest of my life. See, and then now, every time I see the couple's hair, I feel sick to my stomach, eh? Anyway, why have you been summoned here today? Sorry? To testify. The date for our trial is not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. Well, allow us to enlighten you. They've only been shown this photograph. Very good. So, Mr. De Rosso, right? Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph. Of course, we are always ready to help with the law. Sure you are. I don't believe you. The man in the photograph. I have no idea who he is. Me neither. End of testimony. Oh gosh, okay. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park on Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in this photograph. Eh, Capo? Lies. None. I don't remember him. Obviously he is dead now. I assure you, he was not in the park. Allora, this victim has nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. Okay. You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui. I am quite certain. We did not interview this man. Nobody looking like this came to the park. This I can promise. It must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Yeah, really. So sorry if I don't think you're... Or sorry if I think you're capable of lying just a wee bit. Accordingly, this court is little confident in your assurances. Oh, pooh! Uffa! With this attitude, we get to nowhere. He's really sulking. He's really sulking now. This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street Red-Headed League, undercover. Ah, I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh? That also involves red-headed people. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed. Indeed. Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now. Ah. Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. We got this. Okay, so as usual, let's start with anything that pops out at me. Okay, more than 1,000 red-headed people. That's fine. You don't recall the man in the photograph? I can press him on that. I don't remember him, and obviously he's dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. Okay. Nothing to do with us. I mean, the hair, I guess, says otherwise. Like, they're saying it has nothing to do with them, but... Again, I don't want to jump the gun. Maybe I'll press that first to see if he says anything more. A lot to answer for. I might press him on that too, but let's start with this, just because... I feel like we could present the wig there. But we only have your word for that. See, but what else can you do, huh? True. Ofa, we are not having much of fun these days. First we are arrested, then we are shown the horrible picture of a dead man. And now you question every single thing we say. We are the victims here. Hey, Capo? No, you were caught carrying out a plot to swindle hundreds of innocent people. You don't get to call yourself victims. I guess. Humph. You had to bring that up, eh? It's not affair. Hey, Capo? Stop calling me that. Okay. I do want to press that, but... Hold it. He doesn't look at all familiar. No, I don't think so. And this is a wig, eh? He was trying to trick us. I do not like the people who are trying to trick the other people. Says the con artist. Again, everyone looks at Sholmes. If between them they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair, that's a lot of people. It would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face. True. No, senor. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing. Right, that's so. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park. But he's not going to give the quarter definite, it seems. Hey, Capo, you didn't see a man like this, huh? Press him on that. But according to what you said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Surely then you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present? Normally the red hair is very distinctive, eh? But not when you have 1,000 redheads crowding around. Then it is just an eyesore. But if there was some other information you could give us, maybe, then we would recall. That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. What is going on here? We are sure of that fact, huh? I told you before we came to court that is our story. We must stick to it, eh? If there was a man with red hairpiece, but his mustache do not match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. That is true. Cosmo said these two had only been shown that photograph. And they'd been told nothing else at all. But if I fed them just one other detail about the victim, for example... Now, how would this help me? I mean, the fish and chips, because that's something that... Because his name and his profession, they might not know. But the fish and chips thing, if he was like gobbling fish and chips... Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fish and chips. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. What if I told you that the man was always munching on a pack of fish and chips? Do you remember a man who was eating incessantly? Not really. I was looking only at the heads of the applicants. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon. Or the spaghetti. I love the spaghetti, eh? Really? I had no idea. You could have fooled me. Tell them again what you said before, Peppino. Si, Capo, si. I say it again and again. Okay, so that didn't help me. It's got nothing to do with us. Okay, that's... I guess we'll just keep pressing. Okay, yeah, let's try this last one. What do you mean by that? Cavolo, you promised not to say, eh, Capo? After we had taken all the money that day, we should have left the country. That was my plan. I left the purchasing of the tickets for the ferry to Dunkirk to my companion here. But he bought them for the wrong day. Silly boy. Oops. Huh. He seems like a dingus. See, But it's an easy mistake to make, Wait, I said that wrong. Mistake, to make, That's a hard sentence to say. The 31st. Puff! I have no sympathy for you. You idiot! We were on all day late for the vote because of your stupidity. And it's only because of this so-called great red-headed detective caught us. Wait, you just mentioned the red-headed detective caught you? Capo, you know what I think? This is the work of God. It's a holy punishment, eh? Oh, they might be talking about, Sholmes, when they said the great-headed detective. Because he had red hair at the time. Peppino, for the last time. This is not only punishment. This is only your fault. Then it is time for me to eat more spaghetti. Don't blame God for your unholy mistakes. You are making me sick with anger. Maybe I make a mistake, but when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is faster than me. And I've seen the evidence. There's that. They haven't told us much we didn't already know. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, if it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. And yet these two both claim they didn't see him. I have to say, they don't appear to be telling lies. Well, they are experts in deception, don't forget. Sounding plausible is their speciality. They may be lying simply to avoid being implicated in this case as well. True. Surely if they were truly experts in deception, they wouldn't have been caught. Well, yes. You do have a point there. Yeah, I don't know how they've lasted this long. It seems to me like we need more information. Definitely. Okay, I guess this is the last thing I have to press. So I'll press this. I don't think I pressed this yet. 1,000 people? That's a very big crowd. It was quite a spectacle. Redheads had come from all over the capital. See! The capo here. He has the magnetismo animale, eh? Nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo. I have to look at what that means, because I don't... He keeps using that word, and I don't know what he's talking about. All those people wanted was the money, Peppino. The £4 per week. Are you suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants? Oui, that we did, because every one of them paid us 5 shillings. We take their names, and we take their money, and we take their addresses as well. Aha. Then I tell them we take some days to let them know by a post, a finito. Maybe 2 minuti a person. We start early in the morning, we stop late in the night. What a scam. So you earn 5,000 shillings in one day? That's a small fortune. Maybe they are geniuses. Who'd have thought there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with? Okay, all together now. Everyone look at Sholmes. One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair. Okay, so what was the point I pressed that allowed me to choose, his name, his profession, and all that? I don't remember which one it was. Was it this? It was one of these. Okay, I'll try this one. Okay, so... I mean, they did have to ask for his name. Let's try it for... maybe his profession? I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. But what if I told you that the man in the red hair piece was actually a detective? Oh, that probably should have been... That's gotta be it, because they would have noticed that if they're running an illegal operation. The man is a photograph, a detective. Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sorry, but this changes nothing. Aha! Got you to slip up.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Something to add, Mr. DeRossi? Yeah, that should have been obvious that, we'd want to bring that up. Considering they're, little criminals. What do you want? Chit. See, I am always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. Make me hungry. What I mean is, did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? I don't know what you are talking about. What did he just say about the detective? Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already. I want to talk. But why, Capo? What is the problem? Eh? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from Scotland Yard. What? Good lord. Haha. Haha, he's on a box. Order. Explain this volte face. Now you're speaking Italian, Judge? Explain this volte face in your testimony, witness. It's simple. A man who was at the park said to us that there was no such man. Shut the hell up. Madai, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh? Oh, I have forgotten nothing. Nobody that exists came to the park, remember? Basta, Capo, basta. You beat me at the many things, but not two. The memory and the meals. I got you beat on both. Like I said, when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is faster than me. That is my motto. But you are inferior to me in every other way. So shut up. I am much sexier than you. He's like, I had enough of this crap. Nah, double slam. Team move. Right in the jugular. Trap tard. Is that some kind of slur? Trap tard. The damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. Tell us the truth. Oui, there was a man who came to the park and he said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. Good thing the little guy there is an idiot. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How can you be so sure? It might be the guy who killed him? Because to start with, his face was completely different. See, it's true. The man who came was a younger. So maybe it was somebody posing as Gregson. I still think if I had to guess, it's very early on who could be involved, who could be the culprit. This isn't really based on anything, but maybe Mr. Vigil. Like, we haven't seen him and he's kind of shady. His face was clean shaven. His eyes were sadder. His chin was thinner. No resemblance whatsoever then. That does kind of sound like Mr. Vigil. Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you are really a detective, show us the proof. See, the capo here, he doesn't take no nonsense, eh? He is the brawn and I am the brains, obviously. But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification? Oh, it could be him if, I don't know if he would still have it, though. If he had, back when he was a warder, if he still had his card. That is most convincing. Sorry, my lord? Counsel? No incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. That's true. It's quite out of the question. That's a good point. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly the papers were fake. Certo, capo. You are a genius, eh? As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? He became very annoying. He said you are under investigation. So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park. It was fantastico. And look, here is the identification. Oh, you have it? So you stole it from the man. That's illegal, but we'll still use it as evidence. He had it coming, the jerk. He made us very scared. But he was not who he said he was. A lot of us in there. Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence. but I like them. I think I will keep them. Can we look inside? Inspector's identification. The identification of a man claiming to be a detective inspector. Confiscated by Mr. DeRusso and Mr. DeRossi. Now, let us return to the witness's testimony. Okay, let's take a look. Can we get inside? Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. I'm sure there's a picture in there. Or not. I assume there would be a picture. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Out of interest, what name is given? Is it Hugh Boone? Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's... Well, I guess it makes sense. So he was posing as Gregson. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? This Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me. Did he, like, steal maybe he stole Gregson's actual ID? But how? And the department and identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say... I know it seems incredible, but yes. I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all? Okay, so Inspector Gregson's police identification is the official warrant card issued to him by Scotland Yard. Okay, anything else to look at here? Probably not. Okay, so now can we use this? Okay, the victim has nothing to do with you. Let me see if I can use this on any of these points. Again, it's the same thing as always, where we got a new piece of evidence during the testimony, so now we gotta figure out if I need to use this yet, like if I need to use this specifically or not. I mean, he's saying, obviously he is dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. But this would show that he was in the park, because it was found. But even the evidence itself doesn't say that. This says it's his police identification, it's the official warrant card. Yeah, I don't know if this in and of itself is enough to say that he was in the park. Like I said, my guess is that whoever was posing as as Gregson just had it on them, and then they stole it directly from him. I'm gonna try it. I have a feeling I'm wrong, but this is the only one that this is the only thing that I think this could even apply to anyway. Because again, the only reason is because he's saying definitively, like, I assure you he was not in the park, but the fact that this was taken from the I don't know. I'm gonna try it, but I think it's wrong.
Objection.
Or maybe it's right. Hell yeah. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade. Why Miss Lestrade? She knows Gregson very well. What is your intention here, counsel? Is this really a fake, or is it genuine? That's the question. Which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection.
Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. He was killed, remember? That is the boss's. No question about it. It can't be. What if he was dead at that point? As I suspected. The undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation. Okay. Huh. So we are, unless that changes, we are assuming that it was him who was there. Zut alors! Unless they're still lying about it being somebody else. Order! But if the boss had his identification stolen, you would have reported straight away. I mean, he was always on at me about it. If you lose something, report it at once, he'd say. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it? Physically, eh? What are you saying? unable to... You're not suggesting... I am. Yes. It's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. No. Order! Well, like I said, maybe he was killed and then they took his identification. The defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered, at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that? Oh, how many times has he fallen down? Where? I know nothing. Where? I done nothing. Where? Pull yourself together, Peppino. Slap. Mon Dieu. You can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, non? I wanted my mommy, eh? Well, now I wish I had a return to Italia. I miss the spaghetti and the pasta. Where? Stop crying, Peppino, please. You're gonna make me cry. Otherwise, I... What a bunch of weenies. Lume, stop your whining and start talking. Well, I believe the court will need to hear your story in considerably greater detail. I know nothing. Where? I done nothing. Where? Again. Shut up, all of you. But you will tell everything, or face the worst possible outcome. Fine. You will draw your eyes and testify again. About these identification papers, and the precise circumstances under which you came by them. Where? For crying out loud. Oh, Ryunosuke. Very punny indeed. Our witnesses are sad now. The detective and the identification. The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him. What the heck? For the night at our secret hideout. Oh wow, this escalated real quickly. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day just in case. We took the man's identification from him and shut him up in the room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go. He spent the night in a nice room. It was nothing like prison, really. Where? Okay, I was not expecting it to just go from 0 to 100 like that. This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man? No wonder you deserve to be arrested. No, it was not like a prison. We gave him a nice room with bath and board. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Except now he is dead, eh? Eh, Capo? Huh. It was never part of my plan. I swear it. Oofa, so you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got the date of the ferry wrong. By one a little a day. I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it. Oh gosh. No. Per favor, Capo. It's not fair. You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. Oof, I don't believe this. How could he have been a real detective? Well, that's yet to be seen. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. So, on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in this pair's hideout. Now, okay, so, we still don't have specific confirmation, right, that it is Gregson, right? Because we talked about how an imposter had the identification. So maybe the person they have isn't even Gregson, right? That they're talking about right now. It's this imposter. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because, Mr. Vigil went missing, right? So maybe that's where he was. Maybe he was being kept hostage by these two during that period, and that's why he wasn't able to, tell Evie where he was or anything. He just was taken and kept overnight. That's one of my theories. Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Okay. So they took him prisoner, kept him for... Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go. He took the man's identification from him and shot him in the room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go. A little tussle. Spent the night in a nice room. It was nothing like prison. Where to begin? There were a couple of points in the middle here. Yeah, we took the man's identification from him. That being this identification book here, correct? See, that is the one. What do you mean you believe it was a forgery? I never seen a real one, of course. But he was so suspicious, this a man. Allora, I was a-thinking. It must be falso, eh, Capo? Oui, it is just as Peppino has said. We were convinced it was not genuine. And so together, the hilarious brothers, we took as a man captive, eh? And I was very happy about it, apparently. All we did was shove him inside a locked room. Why'd I give him a British accent all of a sudden? Then we made preparations to transfer all of the money. In for a penny, in for a pound. You didn't really think this one through, guys. Talk about this tussle. What do you mean by a little tussle, exactly? Boff. It was nothing, just a minor incident. The falso inspector, he was a real piece of the work, eh, Capo? What happened? Oofa, it was a disaster. We gave him a nice room, and what does he do, huh? In the middle of the night, he tried to escape through the ventilator. Oh. Can you blame him? We chased him, bien sûr, and we caught him again. Can you blame us? Yes, I can blame you very much. Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you? Of course we did. Oot. Who do you think we are? Of course not. We are not murderers. We are just scam artists. Oh, look at that. I simply got hold of him again and took him back to the room. What do you have to say, De Rossi?
Excuse me.
Slam. Mr. De Rossi, is something wrong? I just have had to use the bathroom. Hey, me? Something Mr. DeRusso just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that all about? Cavolo, at times like that, you don't want to have the capo after you, believe me. And I speak from personal esperienza. Personal experience? Ah, good job, Rinosuke. You know Italian. That is enough, Peppino. You can shut your face now. There is no need to say more. The truth is, the night before we put the red-headed league plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the capo, but I tried to run away. It's a shame you didn't manage it. But the capo here, he came after me like a turbine, huh? And he dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I didn't want to, but he made me. I still have his bruises to prove it, eh, Capo? Bruises, you say? He's pulled down his pants right on my bum. Oh, it's on his neck? Ah, you wanna see, huh? You wanna see my fantastical bruises? Not really. That's enough now, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What to do, huh? I show you, or I don't show you. I show you, or I don't, eh? Just show us. You do. Now. Alright, come on your tits. Allora, if everybody wants to see, then I do it, eh? Aha. Echo, you see? It's still very visible, eh? Interesting. Didn't the witness have the same marks on his neck? The fat lip guy? He pointed it out during one of the testimonies. That red ring around your neck? You got that when you were dragged back to the house? See, wrong voice. I keep interrupting myself when it auto scrolls. The capo sometimes he is a very rough and... I said that's enough! Peppino's neck has nothing to do with what we are talking about here. You have my word. Yes. What is your opinion, Counsel? About this red ring around Mr. De Rossi's neck. I wonder, does it matter? I say it's important. Slam. Mr. De Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Aye, Gaffo, you see, everyone is interested in what I say, huh? I don't think we have evidence, though. Well, let's see what he says. Very well, you will amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi. See, if you really wanted to know. He tried to escape, but the capo put a collar on him and dragged him back like what he did to me, see? Okay, so... Interesting. Do we have the collar... Okay, we can't see Mr. Gregson's neck. I mean, we can see a piece of the neck. I could see us maybe presenting the picture and being like It would be nice if you could see his neck a little better. You can kind of see his neck. You can see the side of his neck there, and it doesn't have the mark. Right? You know what? I took it. I mean, I wouldn't call it a guess, but I took a gamble last time and it paid off. So let's try it. And if that doesn't work, then we'll figure something else out. But I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try the picture. Because like I said, he has no marks on his neck.
Objection!
There we go. Objection! So the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. Okay, so far I'm doing a bit better than I did in the last part. Hopefully we keep it up. No, it was not like that. It was hardly a prison. It was an invitation to stay. It was only... Sure it was. However you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains. What inconsistency is this, Counsel? I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. No mark on his neck. You will see that there is no red ring visible around his neck. But that makes no sense. It was me who took the collar off the man in the morning. I think if I had pronounced collare in Italian. And I saw the red bruises on his neck, just like I have. Given that the mark is still clearly visible on this witness's neck, we'd expect to see bruising on the victim, who was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi. Indeed, that is most peculiar. But we, I tell you, we say this, from the beginning, many times, wah, you suck. Oui, Peppino is right. The man in the photograph, he is somewhat different to the man we held captives that night. You guys are the most over-emotional criminals I've ever seen. Order! It would appear, then, that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all. That's been the assumption I've been going with. If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. I can never see that word without thinking of that scene. The prosecution made that assertion itself. That's from The Princess Bride, right? That'd be funny if I don't even have the right movie. And we also know that the inspector had made a note about the Red-Headed League in his diary for that day. Which surely means we can't divorce the two events completely. The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson whom these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation. But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, How did that person come to be in possession of the real inspector's identification? Indeed. Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel? The whole thing defies explanation. The only thing I can come up with is that they killed Inspector Gregson before and just took his identification. It is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruhodo. Because those are the facts. And the facts cannot lie. No, the facts can't lie. Even when they point to something so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park for the Red-Headed League's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe. Good gracious. Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruhodo. So, why don't you help us all to see whatever truth it is that you've apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. DeRusso and Mr. DeRossi? I would say it's an imposter. Yeah, I mean, it can't be Gregson himself at this point. Right? Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day cannot have been Inspector Gregson. In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time.
Objection.
On the contrary, I haven't finished. Shut up and let me finish. Kazuma, what? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is... who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification? See, that's alright. We tell the same story every time. Whoever this man was, the capo dragged him from the pillar to a post from the door, Calare. Mondi, Peppino. I was not so harsh as to say, eh? Could this collar that they're talking about have anything to do with the collar that we found? Because we found a collar-like thing, did we not? A couple cases ago, it was in the ceiling with the sham spear case. So who was that falso inspector, eh? Who was he? Clearly, the defense has an idea about that. Like I said, I think it's the only person I can think of is Mr. Vigil about the true identity of the man those two imprisoned that night. I must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post-haste. Who did the witnesses encounter in the park posing as Inspector Gregson? It was Iris, of course. Me? Say it ain't so, Runo. I'm just taking a look just to see if anybody else makes sense. We have so many people. Good golly gosh. Oh my god, that picture gives me nightmares. Look at that. Ugh. Gross. I'm gonna go... do I even have him in here? Let me see. Yeah, I do. A man who's disappeared without a word to his family. He was the former chief warder of Barclay Prison. He went missing probably because he was held captive. I'm gonna go with it.
Take that!
Take that! I'm pretty confident. It's surely no secret. This... oh shoot, that doesn't sound right. This is the identity of the imposter. Oh really? On what grounds? Well... I said it was no secret, but that part is. Okay, that doesn't sound correct. I was so sure about that. If ever a penalty was in order, it's now, I feel. I was confident about that. Like as a punishment, the capo can then do his calare if you want, Perhaps my learned friend need to experience what it feels like to be dragged around the streets by the neck. Oh! I'm such an idiot. I mentioned it before. Okay. I got it now. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the red ring produced by the collar is clearly the crux of the matter here. Yes. I even mentioned earlier, right, that, let me open it up. I was actually just, I was admiring his picture. Him, right? You can even see in the picture there, he has the ring around his neck. Okay. I was thinking, obviously I was thinking something else. But yeah, it's definitely him. Okay. Yes. The bruising around the neck. I must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post-haste. Okay, yes. I'm not even gonna save, because now I'm very confident. It's gotta be Mr. Gossip.
Take that!
Goodness me, isn't that one of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today? A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passers-by.
Objection.
What on earth would a street seller be doing with a police inspector's identification papers? No idea. Is this the man or not? What has happened to his lip? Oh, they don't recognize the lip. Did that happen? Maybe he didn't have a fat lip. Always. Maybe he just got it recently? See, this is a man is not for the red-headed league, eh? He's looking for the twisted lip league, no? Aha! Good one. Perhaps rather than making such a rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. See what I did there? It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noted something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. Eh? What? The defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. It's getting good. Order, order! Bailiff! Bring the aforementioned witness back into the courtroom. Immediately!